The Galactic Council's archive stretched across 3 planetary systems, its crystalline databases humming with the collected knowledge of 10,000 species. In its central chamber, holographic displays flickered with information that had taken millennia to compile. Among its most consulted documents was the Apex Predator Registrar comprehensive list ranking. The most dangerous species in known space. Anna pressed her palm against the cool interface, her dark eyes scanning the glowing text. The 20-3-year-old xenobiologist had spent 6 months petitioning for access to this archive, and now she stood before it with her research partner Max at her side. "This doesn't make sense," she muttered, scrolling through entry after entry. The Krovic Stalkers at number 1, Apex Hunters from a high-gravity world. The Void Serpents at 2. The Thorian Swarm Queens at 3. She turned to Max, frustration evident in her voice. "We're not even on the list." Max adjusted his datapad, his analytical mind already processing the implications. According to their criteria, predation is measured by biological weapons, natural claws, venom, exoskeletal armor, psionic abilities. He paused. By those standards, humans are unremarkable. The archive's curator, a floating entity of luminous gas named Valshara, drifted closer. Its translated voice echoed through the chamber. "Your species applied for evaluation 17 standard cycles ago. The assessment was conclusive. Homo sapiens lacks the physiological adaptations necessary for predatory classification." Anaho's jaw tightened. She'd grown up on stories of Earth's history, of how humanity had clawed its way from the caves to the stars. She thought of her grandmother, who'd survived the resource wars. Of her brother, who'd died defending a colony from raiders. Humanity wasn't on this list because the galaxy didn't understand what made them dangerous. "Show me the evaluation criteria," she demanded. Valshara complied, and the hologram shifted to display a complex matrix of biological traits. Every top predator possessed at least 15 of the 20 required characteristics. Humans had 3. Max studied the data with growing realization. "They're measuring the wrong things," he said quietly. "Explain," Valshara requested, its curiosity patterns brightening. Max stepped forward, his voice gaining confidence. "You catalog natural weapons, but you ignore manufactured ones. You measure individual combat capacity, but you don't account for coordinated tactics. You assess physical adaptation, but you overlook cognitive flexibility. Those factors are considered tools, not predatory traits," Valshara responded. "Any species can develop technology, but we specialize in it," Anna interjected, her mind racing. "Look at your number 1, the Krovic Stalkers. Ambush predators from a jungle world. Incredible physical specimens. But what happens when they leave their optimal environment?" She pulled up comparative data on her own device. Their off-world success rate is 32%. They struggle in low gravity, fail in aquatic environments, and become disoriented in urban settings. She swiped to another file. "Humans, we've colonized ice worlds, desert planets, ocean moons, and artificial habitats. We adapt the environment when we can't adapt ourselves." Valshara's patterns flickered with uncertainty. "Adaptation is survival, not predation." "It's both," Max countered. He began pulling up historical records, projecting them into the shared space. 300 years ago, the Zelthian Empire thought humans were prey. Easy targets. We had just achieved faster-than-light travel and stumbled into their territory. The images showed early human colony ships, fragile, poorly armed. "The Zelthians were apex predators by your standards," Max continued. "Armored skin, regenerative abilities, pack hunting instincts. They raided 17 human settlements in the first year." "This conflict is documented," Valshara confirmed. "The Zelthian Empire ceased expansion shortly after. Internal collapse was assumed." Anaho's smile was sharp. "It wasn't internal. The first few raids, we lost. Badly. But humans don't just fight, we learn. We study, we innovate." She displayed tactical records. Within 6 months, we'd reverse-engineered their stealth technology. Within a year, we'd developed weapons specifically designed to counter their regeneration. Within 2 years, we'd infiltrated their communication networks and turned their pack instincts against them. The holographic records showed human ships, deadly, bearing weapons that hadn't existed before the conflict began. They showed Zelthian warriors confused and defeated by tactics that violated every natural law of combat they understood. We didn't just beat them, Max said softly. We made them afraid to ever attack a human target again. That's what predation is, making other species alter their behavior because they fear you. Velshara was silent for a long moment. When it spoke, its patterns had shifted to something resembling concern. Your species weaponizes knowledge itself. Every species does, Anna replied. We're just better at it, because while others rely on what evolution gave them, we refuse to accept limitations. We're persistently hunting apex predators. We track them across ecosystems they're designed for, and we still win. Not through superior strength, through superior refusal to quit. She pulled up one final record, the Thornian Swarm Queen incident from 5 years prior. The queens were ranked 3rd on the predator list. Nearly indestructible beings that commanded millions of warriors telepathically. When the Thornian swarm attacked the Kepler colonies, 7 species retreated, Anna said. Even the Krovic stalkers withdrew. You know what humans did? She expanded the image to show a massive human fleet. We studied the Queen's telepathic frequency for 3 weeks while evacuating civilians. Then we built a resonance weapon that could disrupt it. We didn't fight millions of warriors, we cut off their control at the source. The Queens haven't expanded their territory since, Max added, because they know we found their weakness. That's what makes us apex predators. We find the weakness in everything, including ourselves, which is why we keep improving. Valshara's lights dimmed, processing. Around them, the archive seemed to hum with new significance. By these parameters, many species would need reclassification. Maybe, Anif said, her voice softening slightly. Or maybe the list just needs expansion. Natural weapons matter. But so does the ability to create new weapons. Individual strength matters. But so does collective intelligence. Raw power matters. But so does the willingness to endure anything to achieve victory. She looked directly at the curator. Humans aren't on your list because we don't fit your categories. We're not the strongest, fastest, or most naturally armed. But we're the species that looks at the top 23 predators in the galaxy and thinks, how do I beat them? And then we do. Max pulled out a data chip, Humanity's formal application for predator status, compiled with 6 months of research, combat records, and comparative analysis. We're not asking to be added to your list. We're informing you that we belong at the top of it. Not because we were born predators, but because we became them. By choice, by effort, by refusing to be prey. Valshara took the chip, its patterns swirling with something that might have been respect, or fear, perhaps both. This will require council review. The implications are ... significant. As Anna and Max left the archive, the curator remained, staring at the apex predator registry. Slowly, it began to understand what troubled it most. Every other species on the list was dangerous because of what evolution made them. Humans were dangerous because of what they made themselves. And unlike natural predators, humans had no evolutionary ceiling. They just kept getting more dangerous. In the archives, quantum processors, algorithms began recalculating threat assessments across the galaxy. One species had just rewritten the rules of predation, not with claws or venom, but with the most terrifying weapon in existence, the human refusal to accept their place in the natural order. The list would be updated, and every species in the galaxy would learn what humanity already knew. The deadliest predator isn't the one born strongest. It's the one that refuses to stop hunting until it becomes the strongest.